Okay, Aquarius, look. Saturn's going to leave your sign in March. Very, very big deal. Very exciting for you. It makes the serious energy calm right down. I'm Aquarian. I don't know about the other Aquarians out there. I actually really liked having Saturn in my sign because it helped me to get really honest about my life and realize that my time on this earth is finite and I wasn't going to be in situations anymore that weren't working for me. And it also had to do with like understanding what was done, right? What has come to its end so that I could live more fully. And that was part of the excitement as well of a time frame that led to a whole lot of change for me. And so as much as I want you to say, okay, and as much as I'd like to think that, okay, that's over for now, in a way it is, yes, Saturn's leaving your sign. You should find yourself feeling like life is less serious, but you are going to have Pluto enter your sign. I would say really watch what happens once we navigate to the later part of March, April, May especially, big month for the Aquarians. And then just as we step into June. But May is the big month. Watch what happens because I feel like whatever takes place, you'll get to decide how you're going to address it, how you feel about it. Chances are there is going to be an energy of sweeping big changes that happens, especially in the month of May. Some Aquarians are going to love it. They're going to feel like life takes on an intensity and a higher vibration. They can feel themselves vibrating is something I'm hearing a lot of Aquarians say. For others, maybe not as much. Maybe things are changing in a way that leave you feeling powerless, in a way that's hard to grapple with, and that's okay as well. You're learning something new. You're picking up on new skills about life and understanding where you have power and embracing where you do and surrendering. That's going to be a very important skill with Pluto in your sign. It has to do with doing what you can, but also surrendering to a higher, more loving vision for your life, even if you don't know what that is. You can make it infinitely harder on yourself if you try to hold on to something. Instead of holding on, go with the flow. Trust. These are ways in which this leads you to a time of greater power, personal power, but also power in all kinds of ways than you knew before. I mean, think about, Tamara, earlier you were talking about the Tower card. We were talking about the Tower card, right? It's kind of like that for a lot of Aquarians, where it is that you maybe have bought into illusion or maybe you thought that things were a certain way. The Tower comes along and it makes things very clear in an instant. And where that is a house of cards, it falls down very quickly. But where it isn't, the truth can really have you shooting onwards and upwards. So trust that path. I would also say, look, the Venus retrograde season is going to speak to love for Aquarians very, very strongly. You are one of the signs who is likely going to be changed in the context of love in some way or another, depending on what transpires for you. Either you're seeing your partner very differently. In an instant, you're seeing things very clearly or not. What I will say is breakups that happen with Venus retrograde in your opposite sign tend to not stay broken up. So do what feels right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances, but pace yourself as well. And if you're meeting new people, just know it's almost like I see you meeting them and you think it's a certain way, and then in an instant, it's something very different. You realize they are somebody very different. The truth of it can feel like it is a wake-up call for you. But ultimately, you're moving towards an understanding of what love has to be for you. If you have that, it'll grow stronger. If you don't have that, well, you'll get to decide whether or not that works for you in the bigger picture, especially once we navigate later in the year and into the fall. What do you think, Tamara?
Absolutely. My son is Aquarian, so when I look at Aquarian, I always see, what's happening for him. One of the things I see is an Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which means the Aquarian has not had as much freedom financially as they would like to have. Okay. I don't know about you, but that's what I see here for Aquarians in general. Would you concur?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And it's not that you don't have money, but you don't have what you really need to do what you really want. So this has been, push-pull, The other thing is Aquarian does look like they need others to make it all worthy. Okay. So maybe, you said to me that you work a lot at home and you're doing a lot of things at home. I don't know how that, maybe your reasoning for traveling is because that's you trying to get that, that other component where you have, some fun with other people and actually extend yourself. I think Aquarian can get locked into their little routines, and that unfortunately can stop them from having fun and actually be too serious. So I think that this is going to be a good year for them to step out. They got the 10 of Cups. This is a great card to have in terms of community, being connected with your community or being playful with your community, finding and family, community and family, and having lots of fun with that. I think work is still going to call the Aquarian, even though we're talking about them having fun. I think they're going to have fun at work. Because they put a lot of energy into making money. So this is, where's their social scene? Their social scene will be because of work or around work, or their new friends will be because of work, or they met them at work or coming to and from work. Because this year is going to be about them flipping the tables where they have the money they want. Now that might not be really clear to them until nearer to the end of the year, but you guys are on the way, so don't worry. You are on the way. You may not be able to make that or see that money all by your lonesome though. So if you can couple up with other people, networking like we're doing right now, collaborating on any level, whoever those people are that come to you with those opportunities, vet them though. Just like you said, I will take heed with what you said there, Nadiya, in regards to people flipping, where all of a sudden you think it's this way, but it's that way. I would definitely vet whoever you're going to put your money with. Okay. Now that doesn't mean you're going to get a private investigator to go after them, but pay attention, ask certain questions and see what their answers are. Do not ignore their answers because you want it to be like this. Pay attention, and that'll make it a lot easier. For those of you that are married, I got the 10 of Swords there, so I think a lot of Aquarians will ensure that whatever relationship they're in, marriage-wise, has the signature of freedom. Because if you've been in a marriage that is not allowing you to breathe, and you've been allowing it, I think you're going to question it, and you're going to push all the boundaries so that you can get more of what you need. I think that Aquarian people are, all I can say is money's going to be the first thing that you're going to work on. Where you're going to work, who you're going to work with, you have to be really careful with, vet whoever it is. Community and family are going to be your best friends. And if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say that's the best advice I can give on that level, because sometimes Aquarian can be, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but not, and I don't mean anything by it, but I just, in general, they may have trouble doing everything that they want to do. So pace yourself, say no once in a while, say maybe, you know what I mean? Like, don't always jump all the way in because it might be too much for you. Your year looks freaking busy.